Hello, this is Pastor John of Crossway Multinational Church, and thankful today in our Crosslight podcast to be able to interview another key person in the church. And today, excited to interview Jim, who's been serving on the board and is treasurer. So Jim, good to talk with you. And I wanted to start just by asking, you do a bunch of different stuff at Crossway. So what is it? How do you serve at Crossway?
Well, it's good to be here, Pastor John. Uh, I've been involved with you and Crossway since 2014, and a lot of the responsibilities I have are on the physical side. One thing that I do is starting with Saturday, we usually set up at the Work of Christ building. And when we walk in, it's basically empty. And so between Gene and I, we set up, and many volunteers that we set up the platform as well as the tables and the chairs. And the important part is to get help with the volunteers that we have. We appreciate that. And then on Sunday, we usually we try to get a team of volunteers that set up the coffee table and they make the coffee starting about 8:30 on Sunday. And then there's folding of the worship folders and other tasks to be done. We have to put out the external signs. And then when the service starts, we set up the technology and I run the Zoom table. And it just allows us to reach out to about 7 to 10 to 12, 10 to 12 cameras that people can access the entire worship service without um, being in the building due to weather or whatever. And so that's been a privilege to, in, in essence, develop relationship with the people that join Crossway service. Then at the end of the service, we go ahead and I'm in charge of making sure that things are put away. We got many, many volunteers that help with that process. And then we have snacks. And then as part of another part of my duties is to purchase all of the paper products and the any of the snacks that we need to to provide at the end of the service. Some people bring snacks in addition to what I provide, but we provide something to make sure that we can develop an opportunity for people to get to know each other and talk to each other after the service.
Well, that's great. Yeah. Boy, a lot of pieces go into it. And so you're open to people volunteering. So they can just be in touch with you about or with me, but any of us to help out. Is that true?
I think it's more than open. I'm encouraging others to help. I turned 70 last year, so I believe that just to develop teams, even if it's just a team that comes in once a month, trying to develop that, whether it's through setup or whether it's through just Sunday mornings. So those are two kind of different teams that I'm looking to develop.
Do people have to be pretty strong to help out with setup and the other things you're doing?
No, not really. What we do is the technology. All you do is we have things you don't need a lot of strength. You just need to, we have plans written out, so it's not difficult. We're looking for assistance to begin with to develop training. And then the chairs, you just move the chairs around. So no, they do not have to be very strong at all.
Okay, that's great. And I really appreciate how you highlighted that they're good friendships that form through this work. Yeah, is that something that people can expect that they're not just showing up to do work, but actually, yeah, develop friendships with the others working?
That's that's an opportunity for me when sitting at home doing my work on the I'm still doing a lot of accounting work. So I'm at home. So when I go out with church, it allows me to develop relationships and friendships. The biggest example of that is my friendship that I developed with Joseph Chung, and he is now a surgical resident in Brooklyn, New York. And we worked together for 4 years. He liked working with me so he could sit in the back of the church and but just through that, we developed a good relationship. And it's still a close relationship, even though he's in New York as a Brooklyn surgeon
Mm.
resident.
Yeah, no, that's great to hear. Yeah, and that's been very encouraging. And yeah, actually, for those listening, we had a little technical trouble, so we're doing a take two, but we're gonna just keep going through it. Yeah, really appreciate looking at this, Jim. And so you are treasurer for the church. Can you let us know what that means?
So as a treasurer, I'm responsible for the finances of the church, making sure that the proper expenses are paid and only the proper expenses are paid, and to make sure that we give credit for people that give. We're very um, conscious of confidentiality for donors. So I am the only one that sees who gives what. So that's important for our church to make sure that other people realize that any donations from them are not given to anybody else. So
Mm-hmm.
I feel that's important. And then so I work with the board and develop um, the finances, explains to them on a monthly basis how we're doing, um, just giving advice and then in addition to tracking. And then at the end of the year in January, I send letters out to everyone with the IRS tax receipt to show the donations that they've given during the previous calendar year.
That's great. So important. And yeah, really appreciate the confidence that we have you as a CPA to do this. Not every church has that privilege, so we're very thankful for your role in that. And you mentioned, yeah, meeting with the board. You actually are part of the board. And yeah, what's it been like serving on the board?
It's been a privilege. I feel that the communication that we have gives me the a fuller viewpoint of the church organization. I spent 12 years in a nonprofit with Capillary United Way just prior to retirement a couple years ago, and just to know everything that's going on, I really, really appreciate the guidance and the developed friendships that we have amongst the board members.
Mm. Yeah, I think that's really significant. That it's not just a place to get work done, although we do a lot of that. But yeah, the friendships developed and the growth together, I think, is really significant. Yeah, what would you say to other people who might consider serving on the board?
It's a privilege. I really enjoy being on the board. Um, you feel like you're doing the impact, feeling like when you volunteer, you learn to love the people that you're serving. And I really feel that. And then being a board member isn't the time requirement that being an elder would be. So there are different levels within the board to affect that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I appreciate our structure with board members and then some serving as elder as well. So it's worked out well. Yeah, what excites you about Crossway?
The idea with Crossway is we get to know people across different cultures.
Mm,
I talked about Joseph Chung earlier. He's Korean, and and we were involved with when he got married. Just the development that we had with Joseph, and as well as other nationalities. We got Amara on the board. She's Nigerian. It's wonderful that we have different different relationships with other cultures.
mm.
What an opportunity.
Yeah, it really is. That is good. Yeah. And what are your hopes for Crossway?
I'd really like to see Crossway grow. I believe that there are many people looking for a church that treats internationals as equals, and that's certainly what we do. We appreciate working with different cultures to learn from different cultures. I believe there are many people looking for us. We just haven't been able to connect with them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I appreciate that. that excitement. And yeah, it is something we really love to share with more people. So that's great. And yeah, I really appreciate you, Jim, as brother-in-law, more like a brother than the in-law part. But yeah, really thankful for the journey together in the church. So thanks for taking time today and sharing a bit more about the volunteer, the serving that you do here at Crossway.
It's my pleasure. Thanks, Pastor John.
Thank you.